Okay, up on the roof here at 2383 Woodfield Circle in West Melbourne. Keith Nugent asked me to come out and inspect the roof in light of last month's hail and windstorms that we had in this area. There's a lot to go over, so let's just jump right into it. One of the first things that I look for when I get up on the roof is called lift up. So I go around and I scanned for shingles like I marked over here. This is lift up. So in the event of high winds, the bond, let me get out of the shade, the bond between the back of the shingle and the roof itself is lost. Once that bond is lost, it's not going to sit back down. It's just going to keep flopping around until it eventually breaks off. And that's what these guys are starting to do right here with these hinge marks. What's exacerbating that problem is that you have a lot of granule loss. The granules on your shingle roof, in every sense of the word, are the sunblock for your house. So when you lose the granules, the protective chemicals in the asphalt shingles, you can see the asphalt here, leach out, and then the shingles become extraordinarily brittle, almost like saltine crackers. So the combination of the high winds and then the granule loss are making these shingles extraordinarily brittle, and they're starting to, in a diagonal zipper-like fashion, they're starting to lose that bond. You can probably see the rusty nails underneath, and then we get debris like that. And then water starts to get in around the nails and gets into the plywood underneath. That circle there was to talk about the granule loss. There are a few impact marks. Impact marks are readily seen because you can literally see where the granules, what's left of them, have been punched into the shingle itself. Like here, there's a ripped shingle. I'll talk about that in a second. Conversely, you also have basically just blister marks. So there's a huge world of difference between blister marks due to high heat versus impact marks. So the arrows refer to blister marks only as a reference. Let's go this way. So when I was walking up here, there was a lot of cracking and popping sound coming from the wood underneath. We'll talk more about that later. You can see the granules still embedded in the shingle there, as well as there. Here's a perfect example. Those are blisters. That's an impact. Same with that. There's a lot up here to talk about, so I feel like I need to keep moving. There's not quite as much on this side. There is some softwood in that area. Impact mark right next to a blister mark. This side seemed to be the protected side of the roof. Not a whole lot to speak of. I noticed that you appear to have repairs done in this area here. We'll come back to this at the end. Front of the house, we have more of the same lift up problems. I didn't see that before. By the way, we're gonna reboot all the bathroom vents. We're gonna replace all the gooseneck style vents, get rid of the old brackets, damaged shingles. You can see that these guys have been moving quite a bit. Soft. I really hope you can see that. Look how soft that is right there. And then these guys are just kind of hanging on. Okay. And then as I was walking back this way, I double checked a little bit more. You can pretty much find it anywhere on the roof, especially on the back. I assume that the storm came from this direction. Okay, I think you get the point. All right, so last 30 seconds. Allow me to talk about real quick how we're gonna replace your roof. Forgive my metal example here, but that's not really important. It's all the layers underneath that are so vitally important. So if you would imagine this, we're gonna remove all the shingles, get down to the bare plywood roof. Anything remotely bad, like I've talked about, that area, over there, pretty much anything, we're gonna replace, and typically we don't charge you extra for it. You get 100 square feet with your new roof install. Very rarely ever do I see the need to replace more than that. The building codes get upgraded every few years. The latest one says place a new nail holding your plywood to your roof trusses every 6 inches. We go every 4 to 5 inches. So we're gonna double, triple the number of nails holding that bare plywood to your roof. And then we're gonna install what's called waterproof barrier. Once this stuff touches wood, you cannot get it off. It's really amazing in that regard. So in the event that your neighbor's fence or screen porch ends up on top of your roof and damaging your new shingles, it's still not going to allow water to get inside your house. And then for the top layer, I jokingly tell our customers you can pick whatever color, but you literally have no say in the manufacturer. We only use Certainty Landmark series shingles. It's definitely the heaviest, thickest shingle out there for the same price as some of the other ones. So that's how we're going to do your roof. So I'm going to get down and talk more with Keith. Thanks.